But yeah, you see, once they get an anime series made, and it's over, whether it's short or long, you know that there's nothing gonna continue it. I mean, everyone knows that there's almost no anime sequels out there. It's extremely rare. I mean, Dragon Ball is probably the only one that I know is particularly famous for having a sequel. Everything else, you'll be lucky if it even gets an OVA special or something like that. And it bothers me because, like I said, most of my anime series are OVA. Now, as I said, I don't try to do that. It just happens that way. Now, I admit, and being someone who's seen a lot of anime, I know that there are certain stories that should have stopped a long time ago. Pokemon, I'm lifting my middle finger at you. Just die already. No offense to those who like Pokemon. But even you can admit it's got a little out of hand. But, like, Fooly Cooly, that's a very weird series. It's very bizarre, and it was fine the way it was. It still is. It's still an awesome show. It didn't really need any more past 6 episodes. But the problem is, when you watch an OVA, and it's like only 6 episodes or so, you get hooked in with these characters and this storyline. And when they finally wrap it all up, it just feels so short, because you know that nothing is being finished. Perfect example, the Dirty Pair Flash series, Dirty Pair in general. Neither Dirty Pair, the original, or Dirty Pair Flash had an appropriate ending. All they did was just drop it. They left it there. There's no wrap-up, no consecutive conclusion to all the events that happened. Nothing is finished, and it pisses me off because it's just going to sit there forever. I'm going to forever be wondering what the hell is going to happen to Kei and Yuri because the animators didn't bother to continue. They just leave it there. And that to me is just stupid because you get people worked up and attached to these characters knowing you'll never see anything become of it. You're only left with whatever they give you. And I don't like that. Same with, like I said, I own a lot of OVAs. Like Rune Explorers, that does it too. The original OVA for the original series, All-Purpose Cultural Cat Girl Nuku Nuku, that does it. Frickin' New Dominion Tank Police, that does it. Gunsmith Cats, that does it. I mean, it's like the Sonic the Hedgehog the movie, that does it too. You set it up and then you just leave it. That's a horrible way to... There's so much material you could use. Gunsmith Cats could easily become, a 26 episode anime series. Easily. You got plenty of material there. Good characters there. No problem. Hellsing. You could do that. You could easily do that. I mean, but it's like, why do you bother doing that? I just don't understand that. And it frustrates me because you get so hooked on these characters and no, you just leave it alone for people to soak up and sulk and write fan fictions because you know that jackass animators have the nerve to just stop it there. I honestly say that I would have much rather had even a somewhat crappier version of an extended storyline rather than no storyline at all, because then you're just left to wonder and guess, and I don't like doing that. I like to actually have some continuation. Not that stupid rebooting shit that they're doing now. That's another that pissed me off. But I haven't seen enough of it to make a point of it yet, so that's why I didn't put on this list. But this bullshit with going back and revamping series so they look pretty. The Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood thing, the Dragon Ball Kai thing. Give me a frickin' break. Don't do that retarded shit. I don't want to see the same series over and over again. I want something new. I was pissed off enough that the ending for the Alchemist movie, Full Metal Alchemist movie, left it in such a spot which I did not felt was an adequate ending. And I'd much rather see them try and extend the storyline from that than going back and just redoing it. I don't care if the animation looks fantastic, and I don't give a shit how close it is to the manga. If you guys like that, fine. But I think it's just stupid to waste company money on reselling the exact same series with differences from the manga. I don't think that's wise. I want to see... It's just like people are saying with the movies. I'd much rather see a sequel than a relaunch. I don't want to see Superman started over again. Continue with a new Superman in the story you've already established. Don't go backwards again. That's stupid. Progress is going forward, not backwards. Don't show me Dragon Ball again with cleaner animation and cutting out stuff. I don't want to see that. I don't want to have to buy this series again. Just go back and make something new. Stop worrying about going backwards. Same with Evangelion. Same with Alchemist. Anything. Just stop it. It's really annoying. But not nearly annoying as the number one thing in anime that pisses me off to high hell. And this thing, I try to think about this long and hard. I really tried to think what would be the thing that most frustrates me, and it was hard to figure out this list, but the more I thought about it, this is the one thing that it just turns me off right away when I see it. So I absolutely had to make this number one. And you guys may disagree, you may think what I'm saying is sexist or incorrect or accurate, and for those of you who like the shows that I'm going to mention in this subject, I apologize, but this thing I cannot stand this for 1 minute. And that is the incessant male bashing that has become the focus of certain shows. By that I'm meaning a show that depends its entire basis of humor and storyline on the ripping, bashing, verbally and physically otherwise, of one character. I'm looking at you, Lovina, you little piece of shit bastard. I'm sorry if you like Lovina, but I could not stand to watch that show anymore. I just had to turn it off because it was aggravating the hell out of me. This is seriously the extent of your mental capacity for your humor, ripping on this one guy who's not even that bad. All they do, they insult his intelligence, they insult his manhood, they insult his life, they insult his gender, they insult everything about him, and that's supposed to be funny? You can only have so many oops, I fell in and saw your panties, boobs, or bra, or butt thing before it gets really annoying. And that's what bothers me. It's the only point of humor in the show. Ranma 1/2 is also known for doing this. All they do is just pick on Ranma. He's a dick, I admit, but there's so much to expect the whole show should revolve around making him just feel miserable. I mean, seriously, people have committed suicide in real life over less. That's how pathetic and how angry this becomes when all they do is just ripping this guy. The Dokuro, the Beating Angel show. I don't know if that's I don't know what the exact name of it, but that's another one. That's our humor. We're gonna beat up this guy. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't need to, and we have no other humor except beating him up, because that makes us feel good. Just beating one guy up over and over. I'm sorry, but I find that really sexist and annoying. Like, there's a show, Rune Soldier, I actually own it, and it's a very, very, very few series of that I actually enjoy, because while it does have lots of male bashing, I despise that every time it comes up, the show also has lots of other humor that is not focused solely around that. However, I've seen so much of Love Hina to focus on just that I couldn't take it anymore, and sorry, I'm getting a frickin' text for some reason, but in any case, it just pisses me off that that's what your whole humor basis. You have to pick on one guy? Give me a break. You're so sad if you're doing it. Love Hina frustrated me. The only time I actually enjoyed that show is they had one episode that was funny. It was like an RPG parody, and I laughed my ass off at that. But other than that, shows like that, like Ranma, and as I said, Rune Soldier, they relent solely on ripping on a character that doesn't deserve it. Now, a show like Desert Punk or Gokudo Swordsman Extraordinaire, the main character is a dick and a douchebag, so they deserve the verbal tongue lashing that they're getting. They deserve to get beat up, insulted, and ridiculed because they are intentionally doing the actions that are bringing about these, bad faults. However, Kataro and frickin' Love Hina, Louie and Rune Soldier, and Ranma 1/2 do not do anything that warrants this kind of behavior. Seriously. Why don't you just shove electrodes on their balls? I'm sure that'd be less painful than the shit you make them go through. I just think it's so rude and frustrates me. I'm sorry if I'm getting a little upset about this, but I just can't stand it. I don't see how anyone else could call that intelligent entertainment or entertainment at all, when that's all it is. It's just mocking the same guy. It's not just because I am a guy. I think any show that relies solely on ripping on one character for all of its humor and story points, that's just bad. That's just poor writing, poor show values, and just poor everything. It's just really stupid, and it pisses me off. I'm sure there will be a lot of other things that piss me off in anime to high hell and other things in the media, but nothing has ever pissed me off higher in anything more than that. It's so easy for people to constantly say that men are sexist to women, and I admit men have been some brutal assholes in the past, and the things they've done and said to women, and still do, are pretty horrible, but I do not think that allows any kind of leeway to do the exact same thing back. It just looks petty and it makes you look worse, particularly in anime. And any anime, like I said, that solely relies all of its humor tactics on the beating, ridiculing, and social deconstruction of one character is just sad. You don't have much talent if you have to do that, because to me that's me. I've been ridiculed. I know what it's like to be on the shit end of the stick, and it's not fun, so I'm not going to pay 40 or 50 bucks to buy a whole box set of watching 200 plus episodes of someone doing that. That's for You Love Hina. That's for any show else that's ever done that. Sorry, I got a little off kilter there, at least with the temper anyway. This has been Bionic Slime. Thank you for listening to my little rant, and bye for now.